Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and yes, we are back again to talk about Father Gabriel dying at the hands of Negan. I'm going to jump right to this and make this loud and clear. Father Gabriel will not die at the hands of Negan. That is not my prediction. I know, I even went back to make sure I said this, and 44 seconds into the video, and it was only 44 seconds because I wanted to reassure you guys, for the majority of you guys, that we will continue to do Walking Dead videos throughout the break. 44 seconds in, I made a point of saying this is a wild theory, okay? This is not going to happen. I don't believe this is going to happen, I believe I said. And I made a point to say this is not my prediction. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be a dick and be like, you guys don't get me. You don't understand. Because I know that seems to be a lot of the defense on YouTube when someone makes a video and there's a big chunk of fans that don't agree with it. And they're like, oh, that's da-da-da. It seems like the easy way out to say, you just don't get me. I don't believe that. I think that if any blame is to be absorbed here, I think it has a lot to do with too much clickbait being out there. And the second thing is, I absolutely could have been more clear. I thought I was being clear, but I could have just been clearer in the video. So you might be asking, well, you know, if Father Gabriel's not the one to die, what the hell are you talking about? Well, let me put this out there real quick, though, for perspective. I know one person particularly sent me a message, and they said, what the hell is wrong with you? That was clickbait. Father Gabriel's not. They tore into me for a good paragraph, and they followed it up. And this isn't sarcasm. This isn't a joke. This is a true story. They followed it up by saying that they believe, their theory, is Heath will be brought out, Heath and Tara, and Heath will be the one to die. I shit you not. This is not a joke. I had to write back and be like, okay, do you see the irony here? Is this sarcasm? Because I'm not understanding it. And essentially, Heath and Tara being brought out, it's the same wild theory as Father Gabriel and Spencer and Enid. And the theory is, and this is what got jumbled in this, the whole idea was to give you guys something that was going to happen. Again, this isn't going to happen. This is not a prediction. This is a path to get to your feelings. How would you feel? Okay, again, this is not happening, but how would you feel if, when we come back, and there's two huge reasons why we're talking about this, and there's one huge reason why I'm bringing this up again. It's not to defend it. I don't care if you don't like it. If you don't like it, that's fine. I mean, you can hate it. That's okay. My biggest thing is I want to continue the conversation about our biggest worries. And there's a huge group of us. If you look, there's a ton of us that are worried because Season 6 is so chopped up. We're going to get something slightly different for Season 7. Again, that right there is the biggest reason for the Gabriel video. It's not a predicting his death. It's not a clickbait to predict a death, a wild theory. Oh my God, look at this. This is crazy. If we wanted to do clickbait, we would have just said it was Daryl from the gate, made a video, got a few 100,000 views, and been done with it. But that's, one, I don't believe it's Daryl. Straight up. You guys know that. I think they're crafting something for him later on. But again, to the Gabriel thing, that is a legitimate worry, and it's something a lot of fans are contacting me about and commenting about. They are worried because Season 6 is so chopped up. The continuity will be off. We will now watch Season 6, the ending of Season 6, and view it for fake scenes that are corrected in Season 7 when they start up, and they show us how it happens and how it goes down and how everything goes down, and it's not exactly like the end of Season 6. That is the biggest reason of the video. Now, using Father Gabriel as an example was just, it could have been anybody. We could have picked Spencer, we could have picked Heath, we could have picked Tara. The idea of picking Father Gabriel was the fact that we wanted to get your emotions going. Do you like this? Do you hate this? Is this something where you heard this and you're like, holy shit, I hate this. This is stupid. Now again, this isn't my prediction. I'm trying to see how you guys feel about this, because keep this in mind. This is kind of difficult, and this is something I definitely could have been clearer on. When I talk about what AMC could do, what's something they might do, this doesn't mean I believe they should do it, straight up, because that is confused on this channel a lot. Not by everyone. Don't get it twisted and have me make it seem like everyone's getting it confused. I see a chunk of comments in almost every other video where I'll talk about what AMC could do, potentially, and people confuse that with what I think they should do, as if I'm supporting it. I'm not. We are discussing all aspects of this. So the idea is, how do you feel about Gabriel being brought out? How do you feel about them changing the scene that we saw before? Because I got a lot of comments where people didn't even watch the video and just said, Gabriel wasn't there, you know, do you forget? Are you this dumb? And it's like, well, we know. The idea is, how do you feel if they change that slightly and we see a different scene? It's the same setup. They're all on their knees. He does any, mini, money, mo, except for this time, when we see it in its entirety, he brings out Father Gabriel. Now, that, again, when a lot of people sit there and say, but they do faraway shots, Gabriel's not there. When they do the faraway shots, if you look at it, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying this is why there's still a small cluster of fans that believe Tara and Heath will be brought out, or someone else surprising will be brought out, and they don't believe the person is there, and it's to trick us. It's because when you see the faraway shots, you see almost the piece of Eugene, like his shoulder. There's nothing past that. So Father Gabriel could actually be sitting where, if they wanted to shock us. Again, I don't want them to do it. I don't like this idea. I'm saying if. Now again, take your first feeling when I said that in the video. Did you hate that to the core of your being? Were you like, oh my god, I hate that idea? Instead of being like, you're a dumbass for saying it, I expected, or I was trying to get you to say, oh, I hate that. I hope AMC doesn't do some shit like that. That's the whole theory. But if you liked it, if you liked something neat and totally shocking and surprising, and you wanted to defend that, I wanted to hear those thoughts as well. I do believe, again, for the record, I do believe this is something AMC could do. They could do it, definitely. Stranger shit has happened. Do I believe they should do it? No. I don't even believe they should have chopped up the end of Season 6. And again, this is what started this whole conversation with Gabriel, because of how chopped up it is with the continuity at the end of it. If you go and rewatch that as a scene as a whole, we are watching these characters throughout their lives in the world of The Walking Dead, and everything is pretty much how it's happening, as it's happening. They play with time. They'll show some of the future here, flashbacks here. That's all fine. It's pretty coherent, except the end of Season 6. It's not coherent at all. It's dialogue slapped on top of visuals that aren't even matched up, most likely. Now, some of it could be. They could start up Season 7 and go right into the death, and that way when we watch the end, it could just be a crazy inny mini money mo, as if, you know, the characters are so flustered and this is how they're seeing it, and it's just happening so fast, it's not making sense. They could spin it in that direction. But again, the biggest fear is it being so chopped up. It's, are we getting new scenes? And I'm not saying wild new scenes. I'm saying slightly altered scenes. I guess that would be a good way to put it. Slightly altered. Meaning, when he does the inny mini money mo, instead of it cutting randomly to people and shit like that, he will go straight down the line. If that happens, keep in mind, again, that is very different from what we saw in Season 6. In Season 6, it was choppy and random, especially towards the end of it. Now, also in the Gabriel video, we talked briefly about leaks. Do you guys believe that they leaked the cliffhanger? Again, if you don't know anything about that, or if maybe you didn't make it that far in the video, go ahead and rewatch that. Let me know what you think about the leaks, because I think that is an interesting topic as well. And I didn't see a lot of comments on that, so I don't think many people made it to the end of that video. They probably just saw it and then gave up early on. But if you did, feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. And another thing too, that was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 minutes into this 15-minute video, something like that, that was also something very important, or at least I feel like it's very important, and I'm very curious to see what your opinions are on it. And this is probably the one thing I'm most curious about, and one of the biggest reasons, again, why I picked somebody like Gabriel or Spencer or Heath or Tara. How would you feel if they picked a weak character, somebody that didn't impact us? Now, we can separate this into two discussions if you want in the comments, whatever. How do you feel about a weak character getting the death? Or how do you feel about, you know, a character we love getting the death, a character we are, you know, just incredibly attached to? You could pick either Michonne or Daryl or Glenn or anybody we are just in love with, one of the fan favorites, one of the big fan favorites. How do you feel about that? How do you think they'll handle that, especially doing some sort of damage control with the fans afterwards, getting them to say, well, you know what, just because your favorite character was killed off, there's more to the story you're going to find interesting, and yada, yada, yada. And then in the same strength, how do you feel about the weak character? If somebody we are not as attached to gets killed, how do you feel about that? And again, do not forget, this is still a topic. How do you feel about something surprising, something shocking, something that was not seen in Season 6, and it doesn't have to seen in Season 6, the ending, it does not have to be something as wild as Father Gabriel being brought out, as if they attacked Alexandria, got Father Gabriel, and brought him out. I think maybe I did not make that clear at all. I probably didn't. So I'll definitely absorb a lot of that responsibility. I didn't make it clear you hated the video. That's absolutely fine. However, I am still very curious for your opinions on all these topics, and I want to know. And again, do not get caught up on who we picked as far as trying to get your emotions brought out of you. You know, it doesn't matter if it's Gabriel or Spencer or anyone who's a wild, crazy theory. It does not matter. The fact is, how did that feel when you heard about that being a possibility? If I said to you, man, AMC could do this, how do you feel about that? That's what we're dragging out of you, those emotions and thoughts and opinions about that, not that death. Gabriel's not going to get it. You know what I mean? Right now, I'd be shocked stupid if they picked him. But the idea is, how do you feel? Love it? Despise it? Do you think it's clever, interesting, or what? Me, again, for the record, I hate it. I hate all the theories of Tara and Heath being brought out, anyone from Alexandria, anyone surprising at all. And yes, there are even fans saying somebody we don't even know, like someone from the kingdom, will be brought out and killed in place. Let me repeat myself. That is a real theory I've seen dozens of times already, that somebody, and again, it's a theory because fans are afraid AMC is not willing to kill a main character. So again, allow me to repeat myself. I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is one of the craziest theories out there, but there's fans that legitimately are worried or predicting, or just maybe some of them are just hoping it's not going to be any of our characters, so they're in denial, but they're actively talking about somebody we don't even know being brought out to get the death. Now, we do have a couple theories we want to discuss about the death, so stay tuned. Again, thoughts and opinions in that comment box. Do not get hung up on the Father Gabriel itself. How do you feel about the changes, it being chopped up, and everything else? Down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.